2 weeks ago, we crowned the first of 3 #1 contenders for the Gaming Weekly Sword Tournament Championship, and tonight, we're getting ready to crown the second. Happy New Year's, everyone, and welcome to the Gaming Weekly's Blue Brand. Adrian, Matt, and XboxFreakPete at Gameside and partner, it's Friday, and you know what that means.
Yeah, son. I'm very excited to be here. This is the new year of TGW, and I'm so excited to see what'll be happening.
And live tonight, this is Halo 3's Frogger, everybody. As you can see, the action is continuing on. This round only has 20 seconds left on the night that we're going to be crowning the #2 contender for the Sword Tournament Championship. The championship chase continues here. Hello again, everybody. Again, Adrian, Matt, and XboxFreakPete at Gameside, and this is going to be pretty interesting to see this matchup unfold. It is Ghost, who is actually, at the very least, perhaps the last man standing, but he can't go at the end. As you can see now, it seems that this matchup is over with. You saw the tank in the middle of the map. XboxFreakPete, the rules are quite simple. In a game like this, Frogger, there's a tank in the middle, stationed at the middle of the map. All these Froggers, per se, are going to have to do all they can to try to reach to the end of the map to put the end of the destruction of this tanker.
Yeah, dude, I don't really know what to say about this map, instead of just trying to survive as long as possible before the tank eventually kills you. Oh my.
Yeah, this is going to be a very tough task, everybody. There is the tank. It is led by YT-Carrot15, and YT-Carrot may be a modder, Xbox. And the reason why I'm saying that is because YT-Carrot, as soon as he joined, he was in a different place, and now he's inside the tank, and look what he did to the tank. He completely customized it. He could be a modder.
Dude, I don't know.
Gaming Weekly's first broadcast. It could be the first broadcast here tonight, the craziest one for the new year of 2021, as we're joined by so many of these great TGW superstars. XboxFreakPete has a shot at the #1 contendership for the Sword Tournament title on the line a bit later on, as do all these other superstars, as XD Legend Jr., who joined us a couple of weeks back, also wanted to become a #1 contender. XD Legend Jr., with that Mongoose now, having trouble, could be an opening for the tank, but the tank, on the other hand, is looking right. Oh, wait a minute. XboxFreakPete got eliminated. Ghost now is alive as well, along with XD Legend. XD Legend could be a legend tonight if he somehow secures a spot for the #1 contendership. Xbox, your prediction here. Who do you think is going to end up winning with 1 minute and 27 seconds? Can the tank win?
Well, considering that the gravity lifts on this map are so inconsistent, I think that easily the tank dude's gonna win.
Well, YT-Carrot, who's actually, while destroying everybody, completely destroyed Ghost. And there you see Ghost went down, and YT-Carrot with 40 points. This matchup continues, and this is going to be quite interesting right here, right now. New round, new matchup. All superstars now, they have the choice to ride the Mongoose, the Ghosts, all these different vehicles at their disposal. Who's going to be the #1 contender later on tonight? We're going to get that question answered. We understand that there's also an announcement later on tonight, which we will get to in a minute. But for now, at the moment, the Frogger matchup is happening live in TGW. The new year, the 2021 broadcast, the first one of the year. This is going to be quite critical here for XboxFreakPete. As you can see, he's having he's having trouble here again.
Dude, I don't know about this map, man. It's crazy.
The destruction of the tank. Looking right into the eyes of these opponents now. XboxFreakPete up the lift. Hey, in a game like this, though, isn't your maneuvers and such quite critical? Isn't it important for you to try to take it methodical and slow? As you can see, Carrot now became the zombie, AK. Of course, Carrot becoming the man that is eliminated. I was just going to ask you the question, in a game like this, aren't all your maneuvers supposed to be, well, completely analyzed to the point where perhaps you could try to make it to the end of the map?
The goal on this map is to go as fast as possible, but it's kind of hard to whenever the gravity lifts are inconsistent. But at the same time, you got to do what you got to do to win, whether that is going slow or fast. You just got to make sure that you don't die by that tank.
Well, yeah, Xbox, it goes both ways. You said that you have to try to do all you can to try to go as fast as possible. I might have to disagree with you. I think it's going to be all about being slow and methodical as opposed to rushing it, because if you rush things, you can make easy mistakes, and those mistakes could cost you. So you can see Extra Legend now with the Ghost. And up above, up and over the top of the phase, and it continues the next department of this matchup. This matchup has so many different layers. On to the next one goes Rebel, which is actually part of the red brand, but joining us tonight as a guest in the blue brand. XboxFreakPete now, look at this, landing on the Mongoose pretty toughly and tumbling through, but XboxFreakPete back inside of the Mongoose. Cannot wait for what's going to be happening up next, everybody. The Sword Tournament #1 contendership, of course, continuing on. We mentioned a couple of weeks ago the Sword Tournament Championship chase will indeed commence in TGW, and it's happening and continuing on tonight. And Rebel T-Time 87 having some trouble, but I'm spectating my broadcast colleague XboxFreakPete, who fell off. And there you see XboxFreakPete, the last man standing. XboxFreakPete somehow, some way managed to reach the Ghost.
Oh my.
How did he? Oh, wait a minute.
Dude, I'm done. I'm done. Wait.
Well, it could be all over for XboxFreakPete in a matter of moments now. XboxFreakPete hitting the bottom of the ceiling, and oh my, the Taker completely destroying XboxFreakPete. Could be an omen for what's to come later on tonight when the #1 contendership will be up for grabs. And speaking of which, the Sword Tournament #1 contendership will be happening up next, everybody. Who's going to be crowned the second contender entering into the Fatal 4-Way? It will happen up next to TGW's Blue Brand.
Get excited.
Now it's time to crown the #2 contender for the TGW Sword Tournament Championship chase. Continuing on here tonight, everybody. Of course, last week we crowned the #1 contender. That was Slim Shady. As shady as that was, he really did a good job in TGW that night. Became the #1 contender. Who's going to be the #2 contender to crown themselves in this championship chase? Here at Gameside, everybody, Adrian, Matt, and XboxFreakPete at Gameside. Let's not forget, a couple of weeks ago for the Sword Tournament title on the line, it was Mark who won the championship. It was a very good matchup before Mark, though, out of nowhere, really, well, shocking the entire community. He really took the entire TGW game at the palm of his hands to become the champion. The question is, who's going to be the #2 contender, Xbox?
I have decided for this week that I'm not going to participate in the games because, I mean,
That's a shock.
I want to give, like, the newcomers the opportunity to potentially become the Sword Tournament champion. I mean, look, I have already become the champion like in the past, so I mean I'm gonna pass the torch, as you will, to the next player.
And for the moment, it's happening right now. Perhaps Grumpy, who literally just took that point moments ago, knocked down the opponent up against YT Carrot. YT Carrot is looking on, and one of these two will be the #1 contender, or perhaps the rest of the TGW superstars involved in the matchup. But one of these two guys will be the last man standing into this matchup. Grumpy already has the momentum moments ago, able to knock down the opponent, but Carrot, though, falling through. Carrot fell through, meaning that Grumpy is the last man standing, but Grumpy doesn't get any points. So you best believe Grumpy's perhaps grumpy over the fact that his opponent eliminated himself. #2 contender for the TGW Sword Tournament Championship chase. Continuing on here tonight, everybody. Of course, last week we crowned the #1 contender. That was Slim Shady. As shady as that was, he really did a good job in TGW that night. Became the #1 contender. Who's going to be the #2 contender to crown themselves in this championship chase? Here at Gameside, everybody, Adrian, Matt, and XboxFreakPete at Gameside. Let's not forget, a couple of weeks ago for the Sword Tournament title on the line, it was Mark who won the championship. It was a very good matchup before Mark, though, out of nowhere, really, well, shocking the entire community. He really took the entire TGW game at the palm of his hands to become the champion. The question is, who's going to be the #2 contender, Xbox?
I have decided for this week that I'm not going to participate in the games because, I mean,
That's a shock.
I want to give, like, the newcomers the opportunity to potentially become the Sword Tournament champion. I mean, look, I have already become the champion like in the past, so I mean I'm gonna pass the torch, as you will, to the next player.
And for the moment, it's happening right now. Perhaps Grumpy, who literally just took that point moments ago, knocked down the opponent up against YT Carrot. YT Carrot is looking on, and one of these two will be the #1 contender, or perhaps the rest of the TGW superstars involved in the matchup. But one of these two guys will be the last man standing into this matchup. Grumpy already has the momentum moments ago, able to knock down the opponent, but Carrot, though, falling through. Carrot fell through, meaning that Grumpy is the last man standing, but Grumpy doesn't get any points. So you best believe Grumpy's perhaps grumpy over the fact that his opponent eliminated himself.
That dude is not grumpy after that fall. There's no way.
Suicide
And we understand that these TGW superstars, of course, before the show, they were ecstatic. They were absolutely gleeful to be attending tonight. TGW, the first broadcast of 2021. We also got to talk about over the fact of what's been happening and transpiring over the past couple of weeks here in TGW. The fact of the matter is, you brought back clans again, and the Gaming Weekly a few weeks ago, too. So you want a 7v7?
Yes, dude. I mean, look, this dude has a clan. I am trying to create a clan. Why not just take the two clans and just clash them, you know?
Yeah, it's the Clash of Clans, and you best believe the bragging rights will be on the line as Rebel T-Time 87, he's looking on right now, still has yet to hit the scoreboard, but Grumpy here really is taking it to the rest of the TGW superstars. Grumpy not only took that one opponent in the previous round, but took another here.
Yeah, dude, Grumpy with 2 points, everyone else on the board with 0 kills. If I were to play, I would probably win, but I'm not going to. I mean, I'm going to pass the torch on. Yeah, dude, I'm going to pass the torch on to the...
Well, you got to give the great TGW superstars some credit. They're, well, battling back and forth here tonight for the title shot, for the championship contendership.
Yeah, dude, I mean, look, believe it or not, I don't like to hog the spotlight. Believe it or not. I'm going to pass the torch.
Quite shocking to hear, knowing the championships that you won in the past, although I completely agree with you, the great TGW fans deserve the spotlight. You're right, Xbox.
Yeah, dude, I mean, I want to pass the torch to the next Gladiator champion, to the next Sword Tournament champion. So, we're just going to see what happens here with Grumpy and next, I don't know how to pronounce that White Spartan scammer type.
Nezucro. That's how you pronounce it. Energy sword in hand. Really has the energy here tonight. You can feel the energy amongst the TGW superstars, though. And oh my, with ease, Grumpy literally with just one button away, literally clicking the RT button at the right time and deliver that shot right into the abdominal area. You best believe Grumpy is indeed heading his way to become the #2 contender in this championship chase. An absolute blast happening tonight.
Yeah, man, I mean, CMZ Grumpy looking really good tonight.
Suicide.
Boy, he's looking great, I'll tell you that much. And Grumpy really does have 4 points. He could be the next contender, Slim Shady. And it could be Grumpy up against, well, another superstar. We're going to be finding out the next one next week. And then after that, it'll be the fatal 4-way for the title on the line.
Yeah, man, the reason why I'm not playing in these qualifying matches is because this is 2021. This is a new year, you know, I mean, this is a new me that I'm trying to introduce. A person who doesn't hog the spotlight, a person who gives opportunities to players. So I am looking forward to the future opportunities that these players will have.
Carrot with a shot right into the midsection. I'm actually quite shocked to hear about that, but you made a career out of it, though, Xbox.
Yeah, man, I mean, on the Discord, I was voted the commentator of the year, so, I mean, like, first off, I mean, it is like an honor to be commentator of the year, despite my stuttering issue. But yeah, man, I mean, it's a great honor to be commentator of the year.
Well, you haven't missed a beat, I'll tell you that much. As you can see right now, these two going at it back and forth. XC Legend leaving us here tonight. These two now, who's going to be the last man standing? And oh my, Nezucro. It looks like he's continuing his path of destruction with that energy sword in hand. Well, that is a disrespect in my eyes. Really
That's very aggressive teabag as well.
Well, very aggressive, yeah, but also a form of cockiness being shown, you best believe, is YT Carrot now looking on. And it could be perhaps maybe the time for Nezucro to, I guess, continue his path of destruction like I mentioned here. And clans are, well, galore here in TGW for the first time ever. The Gaming Weekly confirming a clan battle. We understand that story is going to be developing over the next couple of weeks. It's going to be quite interesting, Xbox.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you got this kids clan versus my clan, 7v7, capture the flag. Like, it is going to be a really exciting match to see.
Yeah, it is a matchup that everyone has been talking about over the past couple of weeks. You best believe that. We've seen clan battles all over TGW for the past couple of years, but we've never seen it on Halo Reach. History in the making for 2021. And speaking about history continuing here live tonight to see who's going to be crowned the #2 contender. Of course, last week in TGW, we saw the Gladiator Championship Waters win the Gladiator title. The week prior, it was the #1 contender, Slim Shady, who won the championship contendership. And in the week prior that, it was none other than Mark, who became the Sword Tournament champion. So we know 2 superstars involved, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. But now Ghost wasting a little time, attacking the opponent. Mr. The Lunge, Rebel T-Time 87 now, already going against the opponent, knocking him down. I was going to say, we know it's going to be Slim Shady versus none other than the Sword Tournament champion Mark, who's going to be crowned the 3rd opponent in the matchup, and we're going to be crowned the 4th one up next week. Matchup continuing on Xbox.
Yeah, dude, currently, it's AMZ with the lead, but right behind him is Nezucro with 4. So
Xbox. It's Nezucro.
Nezucro, yeah, I mean...
Well, I'm not quite sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, too, but nonetheless.
I don't know.
Well, Nezucro is really gaining some confidence, continue the teabag against the opponent. I believe that's Ghost on the other end. And we talked about the aggressiveness, the vicious tendencies from Nezucro, and we know how vicious this man can be.
Yeah, man, I mean, as I spectate this 1v1 against Nezucro, and I believe that's either Rebel or YT.
Well, that was Rebel T-Time 87, as you can see now. Grumpy now tying up for the lead, but this is going to be interesting because Nezucro, out of nowhere, literally gaining up the speed of the score. You can see has 5 points up against Grumpy with 6, but Grumpy's still alive at this juncture to the matchup. But this is going to be quite critical here and crucial for Grumpy to maintain that momentum that he's garnered over the past couple of rounds. Otherwise, it's going to be Nezucro who's going to capitalize on it and may indeed stumble upon a victory tonight.
Yeah, man, we got Grumpy taking on Ghost Legos. Let's see who's going to win its encounter.
Ghost, Logaz is Grumpy now. Now this is where things get very interesting as Grumpy, though, out of nowhere with 7 points. You best believe Grumpy versus Nezucro, these two very highly brash, cocky, arrogant superstars teabagging one another. And I understand, Xbox, it's the new year for you, and this is one of the reasons why you're not attending tonight.
Yeah, man, I mean, I like to change things up, you know. I mean, this is the new year. This is the new me, you know. I mean, when it comes to playing Xbox, you know, playing with fellow members, I mean, I'm not afraid to do what I got to do to ensure victory.
Well, yeah, you made a career out of it in TGW.
Yeah, man, I mean, they voted me the best commentator of the year on the Discord, and...
Oh, my. And look at this.
Yeah.
Round is over from Nezucro, who wins the matchup already. We're continuing on next. Another round. Yeah, you did win the best commentator. At least you're winning thus far. The poll closes next week, but nevertheless, yes, you're winning it.
Yeah, I really didn't get to see your ranking on the best commentator of the year.
That's real nice. As you can see, this matchup is continuing on with a lot of pressure, and you best believe that not only pressure but also suspense.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they voted you the worst. I don't
anyway. Well, nonetheless, though, ladies and gentlemen, as we are continuing here in TGW, the poll will be closing next week, and Rebel T-Time 87 is very stoic, very contrasting Rebel here tonight. Very stoic, very quiet at ways. Not just that, but also, I mean, it seems that Rebel T-Time 87 has a new chapter in his life. Perhaps maybe this is going to be the opening, the new beginning for Rebel T-Time 87. His Ghost already now applying that energy sword lunge right into the midsection, knocks down the big man.
Yeah, dude. Remember last stream when you called that rifle the Brain rifle when it was in fact a carbine?
Oh, trust me, I know the difference now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You would get on to me for mispronouncing this White Spartan's name, and then, yeah.
Oh!
And then that happens. A duel like, between Rebel and Nezucro.
So knocking each other down here tonight, Xbox. Thanks for joining me on commentary here today. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, thanks. Oh, man. Here we go. Matchup is underway. Who's going to be the next one to be crowned? You know, TGW clanmates have been talking to each other, amongst each other over the past couple of weeks as well, but then say that they're really, really excited to see TGW really grow from here on out. The Gaming Weekly, I guess, is going to be changing for the new year 2021. Not only did they bring Halo Reach game nights back, but also they're going to be bringing clan battles for this year. One can only assume what's going to be happening up next for this year. The Gaming Weekly, indeed, to each other, amongst each other over the past couple of weeks as well, but then say that they're really, really excited to see TGW really grow from here on out. The Gaming Weekly, I guess, is going to be changing for the new year 2021. Not only did they bring Halo Reach game nights back, but also they're going to be bringing clan battles for this year. One can only assume what's going to be happening up next for this year. The Gaming Weekly, indeed. With only 4 minutes left, the question really is rising. Who's going to be the one that's going to advance in the Sword Tournament Championship chase? And do we know the championship chases come a few and far between? So this really is going to be taken seriously by so many of the great TGW superstars.
Yeah, Grumpy losing the lead with 7 points, and then Nezucro with 8. He is dead.
Nezucro, but nonetheless.
Hey, man, I mean, going back to the carbine rifle situation, you know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You gotta just bring that up.
Yeah, man, I mean, we ain't perfect as humans, sadly, but can't do anything about that.
But these two look at each other one-on-one. No, you cannot. And I'll be the first one to admit. As you can see, YT Carrot up and over the top now. Oh, my! Did you see that? YT Carrot. YT Carrot literally wasting little time as the map literally loaded in. Did you see that?
He just stood there and took that, son. He's like, hey, man, just slice me.
Well, I mean, hey, listen, he was trying to gain some momentum. And now Nezucro with 8 points. Grumpy's at 7. These two are almost tied neck and neck.
Yeah, man, I mean, when it comes to Nezucro and Grumpy, I mean, it is really anyone's ballgame.
Yeah, anybody indeed, as we know for a fact how vicious these guys can be, but a Sword Tournament Championship chase, going back to the point I was making moments ago, the fact of the matter is, it really is a few and far between, which means that this matchup is that much more important tonight. And now Nezucro is stalking his opponent. This is where all the suspense begins to build, and sometimes suspense really goes against you when there's a lot of pressure and suspense in a matchup like this. Nezucro stalking his opponent. I believe that's Rebel. Rebel T1087 got a knockdown already, half a second away with that shot. I'll tell you, Nezucro now continues the disrespect as he's teabagging the deceased lifeless body of Rebel. As you can see, YT Carrot now is looking on. YT Carrot with 4 points now, but it's Nezucro with 9. At first initial start point, it was Grumpy who won the matchup, or at least winning the matchup before he was taken off by Nezucro.
As Nezucro taking on Grumpy at this point in time, wonder who is going to come out on top in this scenario.
Grumpy looking right into the eyes of his next opponent, perhaps the next victim. That is Ghost. Ghost with 4 points. But Grumpy is going to, I guess, worm his way in here. The map is loading in. Ghost, what is Ghost doing? Ghost, I believe, is trying to play some tricks here with Grumpy Xbox. Perhaps not.
Seems that Ghost is making a death wish for trying to intimidate his opponent. Bet
or perhaps he was trying to play possum there at that point in time. Trying to tell you, what are these two knocking each other out, though? But it's, hey, listen, developing story already. Grumpy already gained a 9 point, though. So he has 9 points. He's going to be advancing up next.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next round.
We're going to be finding out all that and more right now as the TGW Sword Tournament Championship Chase Round 2 is continuing on, commencing here. Rebel T1087 joining us tonight as well. XboxFreakPete, you limited yourself. How... Okay, there we go. I was about to say, it looked like you didn't die at that moment, but there.
Yeah, dude, I'm just trying to give the other competitors an opportunity to prove themselves, you know.
And I understand that you have a lot to say, right?
Yeah, man, I have a lot to say when it comes to that regard.
Rebel, Nezucro, Carrot, Grumpy looking on. Here comes Ghost now advancing here tonight into this matchup. These two looking right into the eyes, and wait a minute. You can see the other two in the distance. Those two going after that. Oh my, YT Carrot knocking Rebel down. You can't necessarily deny the tenacity of Rebel. You got to give him some credit here. He really is battling back and forth into this matchup. These two went out.
Nice
Nezucro's looking on.
Once again, yeah. It seems that, you know, like, you're getting on to me for me killing myself during games to commentate. You've been doing that since day one. Since when did you know things and stuff about video games? Whenever I'm the one in here each and every week, besides this week, playing these games.
Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, wait a minute. I was just going to make the
qualify.
point. You actually did not even play today, first
I'm
off.
giving
And then
these fans
second
an
off, it worked.
opportunity.
Okay, it works both
You
ways.
haven't won nothing.
I'm a commentator. Never worked for
I
the
am
TGW
too, but guess what? I
brand.
still play.
You're a color commentator. There's a difference. Anyways, as you can see, this matchup really going on here, and oh my, this is gonna be here. This is gonna be a very good matchup. Nezucro up against YT Carrot. Do you believe YT Carrot may be shaking in his boots, so to speak?
Well, I mean, YT Carrot piling up Nezucro here.
Well, that was a shock factor. Sometimes shock factors could go against you as well. It was none other than Carrot who out of nowhere would deliver that shot, the energy sword. Now, Grumpy still went to the lead with 10 points here, but I'll tell you one thing. At least for these TGW superstars, it's time for them to reassess the situation. Time for them to take some advice within each other. Try to say, okay, well, you know what? Maybe I can plan out this and that as opposed to how it was last round, trying to correct their wrongs.
As Grumpy now, with his third, seems like you know a lot about commentating, but I mean, I don't really know if you know a lot about video games.
Hey, listen, I know quite well about the video games here tonight. As you can see now, Rebel getting knocked down and YT Carrot is still alive. Grumpy with 12 points. You best believe that he may win this. But listen, it worked both ways, though, okay? It works both ways.
Yeah, dude. You just claimed that you know about video games, but you're not explaining how.
Oh, yeah, what the hell's the matter
know
with
about
you
video
tonight?
games. I mean, this is the year I'm trying to bring a new side. We'll see what happens. I mean,
Okay. Well, it's going to be a new year, and I guess you're going to just act like a jackass. As you can see, YT Carrot jumping over the top, landing on his feet. Now these two attacking each other. He wins, Carrot wins, but it's Grumpy who has 12 points. Grumpy's the number 2 contender. Congratulations to Grumpy. He out of nowhere would deliver that fierce slice against the opponents.
yeah, man. Nice win by Grumpy's here tonight. Very nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, Grumpy crowned the number 2 contendership, which means that, of course, next week in TGW, we're crowned the final one. In the week after that, it looks like we're going to be crowning a new Sword Tournament champion or a retained one at that. The Fatal 4-Way for the Sword Tournament title will be on the line. 3 of the superstars involved in the matchup. It's going to be none other than the champion himself. It's going to be Mark up against none other than the number 1 contender. That was Slim Shady, and the number 2 contender, CMZ Grumpy, who's joining us here tonight. Who's going to be the 3rd contender next week? Partner, perhaps you're going to join us for that.
I may so do, but we're just going to have to wait till next week to find out.
Now, when it comes to the main event, though, I am being told, folks, XboxFreakPete, you brought in your clan, but there is a source in TGW stating that there are more members joining the opposing clan.
Oh, really?
And one of those members will be joining us next week for a proposal. What is this proposal all about? A huge proposal expected for next week in TGW. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you next week.